Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover here, coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video. We're going over a few news articles today and then taking a look at the charts. Bitcoin sitting right at about 28,100. It recently just had a big spike up over the night, and we're going to take a look at that and see what's going on. Right here we have Tintero CEO, crypto transformation will come from the Fed, not Bitcoin. We'll take a look at that article here in a second. And then also we have Bitcoin hits new highs, edges closer to 30,000. So we did put in some new highs as of a couple hours ago, and we'll go over those charts here in a second. And Grayscale reportedly dumps all its XRP and XLM. So we have some more bearish news with XRP as well. But interesting that they're also dumping their XLM too. So we'll take a look at that as well. Take a look at those charts. And then last but not least, Bitcoin surges a record $28,500, quadrupling in the value this year. So it looks like we did have a nice little pump as of yesterday, and we're going to take a look at those charts. Let's go ahead and get started, folks. If you are brand new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that we make on this channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends and family too as well if they're interested in cryptocurrency. And here we have, let's see, jumping over here. It says, at the time of 90% of Americans have owned Bitcoin and nearly 70% say that they have no plans to do so in the future. The thought of the widespread adoption and usage of cryptocurrency seems to be a distant prospect for people, Tintero CEO Daniel Goldman. However, it's not one of them. I would not be surprised in 5 years, most money, as we know, is basically cryptocurrency, Goldman said in a recent interview with Payments. He said, if you took cryptocurrency adoption graph and overlaid it with a chart of internet adoption in the mid-1990s, it's the same path. It's an incredible explosion adoption rate. And a lot of people have really compared Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to like the internet boom that happened in the 90s too as well. So interesting that he's also referencing that here too. In my mind, most money in the future will basically be cryptocurrency because we've got CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, he said. Bitcoin is awesome. Everyone should have it. I love it, but it's not a transformational thing that's going to affect everyone's lives on a day-to-day basis. What's going to be a game changer or life changer, as the case may be, is when money as software allows people to store and control their own cash and not have to pay any fees to banks. So very interesting. Obviously we're still paying transaction fees, but not necessarily paying to have a bank account open, as some banks are having people pay to have their bank accounts even stay open too as well, right? Goldman said the time frame for when this happens is probably going to be when the Federal Reserve says, okay, adding this to, he's very bullish and confident. Okay, so yeah, so basically we're just waiting on the okay from higher ups, and stepping towards that mass adoption too as well. So let's go over into our next article here. This was from payments.com, and then we're taking a look at the New York Post here. Bitcoin puts in new highs, edges closer to $30,000. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high Wednesday with the cryptocurrency creeping even closer to $30,000. The value of one Bitcoin hit a record 28,500, close to almost 28,600 pretty much Wednesday morning, exactly 2 weeks after breaking through the $20,000 barrier for the first time. The value of the digital token has increased just under 30% since the beginning of the year. Bitcoin started with trading at 2020 roughly about $7,000. Wow. So we started trading in 2020, Bitcoin started trading at about $7,000, which is just incredible to see it go from 7,000 all the way up to almost $30,000 here, just within a year. The world's biggest digital cryptocurrency has attached investors hungry in the fast gains and resistance in inflation. It has also boosted by hopes that it will become more widely used payment method with mainstream digital payments trims such as PayPal, Square, allowing Bitcoin to their platforms. Cryptocurrency backers continue to rally, different from the 2017 surge that pushed Bitcoin near 20,000 mark because it's been driven by interest from institutional investors. Bitcoin most recently trading at 27,600. So yeah, definitely it feels like it's a little bit different. We're definitely seeing our weekly charts, put in outstanding candles. Biggest weekly candle, I believe, closed last week. So we're going to see how this week ends up turning out too as well. Jumping over to our next article here, Grayscale reportedly dumps massive amounts of XRP and XLM. Very interesting here that Grayscale. I did see an article, or someone had posted something yesterday on Twitter, I believe, about Grayscale possibly wanting to dump their XRP. It looks like it did happen. So we'll take a look at those charts, see if we can find out where that dump is at. And Grayscale Investments, as the world's largest digital assets manager, has reportedly dumped significant portions of XRP and XLM. Data from Bit, a cryptocurrency futures trading platform, revealed that Grayscale's XRP holdings declined by more than 9.18 million on December 29th, brings a total position to 26.45 million XRP, worth 5.77 million at press time. On the day, Grayscale reportedly liquidated over 9.7 million stellar lumens, or XLM, bringing its total holdings to 9.19 million XLM, or 1.27 million at today's prices. Grayscale assets under management currently sit at 19,000.26 billion, with Bitcoin making up 87% of the total. Grayscale apparent fire sale of XRP came a week after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission lawsuit against Ripple. The news triggered a wave delisting from major exchanges, including Coinbase and Bittrex. Very interesting. So it also has been delisted from Bittrex as well. And I think what we've seen here is just a little bit of a scare happening with regulations that are occurring with maybe what people might consider still being securities, possibly XLM too as well, you know. And we'll have to just kind of keep an eye on this and see where these coins end up going to, and how, you know, they're going to change over time when people start to maybe jump back on board. But I think it's probably going to be a while until everything kind of settles, the dust kind of settles, and people start believing back in these projects again, because obviously this is a pretty big hit when it comes to the XRP community and possibly the XLM community too. But Grayscale, obviously a really big company there, talking about dumping their crypto on, you know, and because of these delistings and whatnot. Ripple has vowed to fight. Okay, cool. So Stellar was a co-founder of Jeb McCaleb, a software developer who is Ripple's founding team before departing in the project 2014. So yeah, very interesting that also XLM is taking a hit here too. But this just gives Bitcoin a little bit more of a bullish sentiment right now. People are dumping their XRP. More than likely, it's going to go back into Bitcoin. And we've taken a look at our Bitcoin dominance charts too as well, and they seem relatively bullish. But I would assume that, you know, most of this pump that just happened was probably due to a lot of this dumping of XRP and XLM, probably by Grayscale, because more than likely what they're going to end up doing is just going right back into Bitcoin too as well. Last but not least, our article here, Bitcoin surges to a record $28,500. Institutional investors helped cryptocurrency to 47% gain in December as interest in the US dollar declines. Bitcoin has continued into the year Santa Claus rally, surging to a new high of 28,500. The cryptocurrency gained more than 5% and hit 28,572 on Wednesday. It is up 47% in the start of December and is on track for the biggest monthly gain since May of 2019. Bitcoin almost quadrupled in value of the year. Institutional investors have grown as the US dollar declines. Bitcoin has become more of an attractive investment, and concerns a huge government stimulus package promoted by the coronavirus pandemic will fuel inflation in the US. A bigger package could be passed once Joe Biden has replaced Donald Trump as president. On Wednesday, the dollar dropped to lowest level since April of 2018. Folks, that's right when we've seen the Bitcoin price pump too as well. So, you know, I think we're probably going to be putting in even lower lows on our dollar index value. And we usually always take a look at the dollar index value when we're viewing our charts too as well. So we'll go over that and see what our last previous low was back in 2008 during that housing bubble crash. And so if we are to see those same lower numbers, it definitely is going to be a little bit of a scare. Measures against currency. The U.S. currency is under pressure as investors move into riskier assets, betting on stronger economic recovery next year as coronavirus vaccines roll out. Okay, no one cares. Bitcoin has been boosted by expectations and will become a more mainstream payment method. PayPal has launched a crypto trading service on its platform and has reportedly bought nearly 70% of all new Bitcoin in circulation. A new hedge fund manager has revealed this year that they have invested in the cryptocurrency. So yeah, you know, we're starting to see bigger companies obviously buy Bitcoin up. There's been talk about Elon Musk maybe wanting to buy Bitcoin too as well, with tweets that are going around. So I would say that if we start to see, you know, these bigger investors come out and say that they're buying Bitcoin, just get ready, folks. We haven't even seen the retail investors really start to boost Bitcoin off just yet. Bitcoin is being touted by an alternative to gold, the traditional safe haven investment. So yeah, and obviously Bitcoin is outperforming gold right now too as well. So very interesting news articles here, folks. We're going to take a look at the charts. Let's go ahead and jump on over there. And we're here. We're looking at the hourly time frame for Bitcoin as of right now. We did have our symmetrical triangle that was formed, and now we made a nice little breakout here. We tested all the way up to the 382 level, and now we bounced back, retested our 21 EMA, kind of wicked below it here on the hourly chart, and now we're steadily moving back up. I think we could be moving up to a $29,000 area here in the near term future, but by all means, hey, this is not financial advice. This is just a brief analysis, in my opinion only. I'm just some guy on YouTube. All right, so what we were looking at here on the lower time frames was waiting for a recovery with our money flow, and now we're starting to see that recovery, but also we want to keep a close eye on the 90-minute time frame, make sure that we still stay in the green here and that we start to recover just a tad bit. Perfectly bounced off of our 21 EMA here on the 90-minute time frame. 2-hour time frame, money flow still looks relatively good here with Cipher B2 as well. So as long as we stay thickly inside of this green money flow here on these mid to higher time frames, we're definitely going to be you know, probably continue moving back to the upside. Bitcoin price still sitting right at around 28,200 or so, but we did move all the way up into that almost yeah, 28,600 or so. So very, very bullish price action for Bitcoin. We had somewhat of a descending triangle here, but obviously the bulls are just in control of this market right now, and they're going to continue to probably move this asset up even more. So let's kind of zoom out here, see what is going on our higher time frames. It does kind of look like we could get a little bit of a roll off and maybe some retracement or maybe some sideways movement before we continue up higher. Let's take a look at our daily chart, see what's going on here. Daily chart, you know, VWAP still kind of moving sideways, and we're starting to see these Christmas tree patterns form out here on Bitcoin. So if we get another green dot here on Bitcoin, we're probably going to continue back to the upside. But you know, the fact that we are still in our bull run as of right now, this definitely is a time to keep an eye on our lower time frames and kind of maybe make moves based on some of these lower time frames to see when we get those retracements, when we're going to get these sideways corrections, and then we start to continue further to the upside. Going on into our dominance chart, usually we like to zoom out on our dominance chart here and get a broader perspective of what's happening, usually on the 2-day or 3-day, because we are just breaking bullish out of all of our resistance levels here too as well. These green resistance areas and trend lines have just been busted through, and now we're just starting to see so much bullish price action with Bitcoin too as well, and it doesn't look like it wants to slow down. Our 3-day chart still looks relatively bullish here with market Cipher B showing us green momentum or green money flow starting to form here and ready to probably move further to the upside here too as well. So definitely we're keeping a close eye on the 3-hour chart when it comes to the dominance, or 3-day chart on the dominance chart. And this is definitely going to give us probably a measured move up to about 80% in Bitcoin dominance. We've already seen XRP start to sell off, XLM, and you know, that's just going to drive more money back into Bitcoin and skyrocket this dominance chart further up to the top side too as well. You know, our 4-day chart's still looking really good here too. We had a nice little head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern formed here, and then we had our 5th touch to break us through that top side. So fun stuff here for Bitcoin dominance chart. You know, if you're ever confused, I definitely would say take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and see what you know, you can tell based off of that too, folks. If y'all are interested in learning how we trade this market, learning a little bit more about our altcoins that we're getting into right now and getting ready for 2021, which I believe is the year of crypto, make sure that you check out our Patreon page, links in the description box below. And let's go over to some of our altcoins. Let's take a look at the dollar index value, since we like to see what's going on here with the dollar. Staying zoomed out here, looking at our 4-day chart, our previous low was in 2018, 2017, but this is last time that Bitcoin had its rally to 20K, and so we're starting to see that same pattern play out again. We're starting to see the dollar dump. We're starting to see money move back into Bitcoin, and right now we're probably looking for a retest to that same lower low too when it comes to Bitcoin. So this was our last previous low back in 2018, and that was about 88 cents or so, and the dollar does look like it's probably ready to continue to move down maybe a little bit further. We do have a big green dot here on our 4-day chart. Taking a look at the daily, we did get a red dot though, and I have no doubt that this is going to continue further down. We're starting to see these yellow X's here. This is our third yellow X on the daily. I think that we'll find support here at about the 88-cent level, but if we get the stimulus package passed, then it's definitely going to probably move us all the way back down into that 88-cent area. We've been calling for that price target for a while now, and it's just steadily trickling its way down there too as well. But a funny, interesting thing is if we zoom out here on the weekly chart, let's go into the weekly. You know, our previous low was back in 2018, or this was 2008 was over here, right? I believe. Let's see. That's 2014, yeah, and then 2008 was, let's go into the monthly chart. I feel like we will have a little bit more room here to kind of see what's going on. This is 2008 back here in the housing crisis, and yeah, we made some really low lows there, and I would say if we break this trend line on the dollar index value, then we're probably going to be looking for maybe 78 cents or so value for the dollar, and things might not be looking too pretty for us, but hey, we are ready as investors, and we are set and ready to kind of move our assets around as we need to, knowing that the dollar is losing its value too as well. Let's take a look at XRP, see what's going on over here with XRP. Man, we have some crazy wicks. Oh, that was on the monthly chart. All right, taking a look at the daily here. Daily does look like it's ready to kind of finally have a little bit of a bounce, but we tested all the way down to that 16 area, 16 cents. That is crazy. Cool. So yeah, this is what we looked at last time, 16 cents, and then we're also looking at maybe the 11-12 cent area too as well if we continue further down. Money flow on the daily kind of moving sideways as of right now. It looks like it's wanting to recover, but our 12-hour, man, just looks horrible. Honestly, with Cipher B, this money flow here just looks freaking nasty, and if that moves on into our daily chart, then folks, we're probably definitely going to see some lower areas tested, maybe around that 11-cent area or so. And if this money flow starts to curve on down into that red, well, yeah, it is what it is. But, you know, obviously if you're a long-term holder, just like you've been doing with Bitcoin, then you probably are wanting to maybe buy some of this dip up too. But, you know, that's on your own prerogative if you're interested in doing that too as well. And what else? XLM. Oh yeah, XLM. Let's take a look at XLM over here at USD. XLM, we've been keeping a close eye on it. It looks like we did come up here and retest one of our trend lines right at about 20 cents or so, 19 cents, and now we're starting to have a little bit of a sell-off. Obviously XLM is a competitor to XRP with cross payment platforms and a lot more than that, but now, you know, it definitely looks like XLM is kind of playing that same route that XRP was also doing too. So a little scary here, but it does look like we are trying to find support right around our previous consolidation area, maybe around 11 cents or so with XLM. We'll keep a close eye on this, folks, but I did want to bring y'all a quick video. If y'all are interested, don't forget to join us in our Patreon page. Let's give a quick shout out to all of our Patreon members: David, In Kim, Jasmine, Crypto Rex, Leo, Sparky, Johnny 20, William, Angelo, Quentin, Ben, Eric Huel, Samuel Crane, Tall Troy, Tim Luna, Egg Zin, Sean Stein, Greg, Hyru Yor, Pike 379, Paul A. Keller. So we've been definitely keeping a close eye on these charts. Thanks for everyone in support of the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated. Share this video with your friends and family. And if you have no idea what I was talking about, check the links in the description box below. We have a beginner's course to cryptocurrency. And then also, if you're interested in picking up some of the indicators that we use on this channel with TradingView, you can find the market cipher indicator by CryptoFace. That link is in the description box below, and you're helping support the channel if you click any of those links. So I highly appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll see you on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.